Hi, today we're going to be learning about improper, proper, and mixed fractions. So you might be surprised to realize that even fractions have improper and proper behavior. So they totally feel your pain when your parents ask you to act proper. So today we'll be learning what makes a fraction improper, what makes a fraction proper, and what makes them a bit mixed up. Okay? Well, let's get started. The proper fraction is in the form a over b, where a is less than b. So that means the numerator is less than the denominator. So for example, 5/7. Realize 5 is less than 7, as is a is less than b. Okay? Now there's improper fractions, such as c over d. In this case, c is greater than or equal to d. So, for example, in 7/7, we have that 7 is equal to 7. No, improper behavior. And then in our example, 8/6, realize that 8 is bigger than 6. Again, very bad and improper behavior for fractions. Okay? But let's move on and learn what a mixed number is. A mixed number is both a whole number and a proper fraction, so it's kind of like a combination. For example, we have 3 and 4/5, and you always, even though there's no and here, you always say 3 and 4/5. Okay? Great. Now let's look at some examples and say whether these are proper, improper, or mixed numbers. Okay? Well, let's look at our first one. Well, 4/5, we see that 4 is less than 5, so this is a proper fraction. For 8/5, realize that 8 is bigger than 5, so this is improper. 2 and 5/3, well, this is a combination of both the whole number and a fraction. Oh, wait. No, it's not. So this is actually neither, because it looks like it may be a whole number and a proper fraction, but realize this is an improper fraction. So this is actually nothing. It's neither. So be careful when you have something like this on a test. That's very important that you pay attention to those, okay? Now 5/5, well, that's improper because 5 is equal to 5, okay? Now I just really want to make you draw attention to this one right here, because realize it needs to have two components, both the whole number and not just any fraction, but a proper fraction. So this is a very common multiple choice question, so be careful when you see that. Okay, so now we're going to learn about converting mixed numbers, fractions, to improper fractions. Sometimes problems will ask you to take a number such as 3 and 4/5 and bring it to 19/5. So converting it. So we always see 3 and 4/5. Well, the and is kind of like a plus sign. So we always rewrite 3 and 4/5 as 3 plus 4/5. Now what is 3? As a fraction, it's just 3/1 plus 4/5. And ta-da, it's just like a regular adding fractions problem. So 3/1 plus 4/5 is equal to, well, we get a common denominator, so we have 3 times 5/1 times 5 plus 4/5, and this is equal to 15/5 plus 4/5, which is equal to 19/5. Okay? Well, let's work through some examples to get the hang of this. So let's look at our first one. So we have 4 and 1/7. Well, we rewrite it as 4 plus 1/7. And this is equal to 4/1 plus 1/7. Now I want to get a common denominator, so I'm going to do 4 times 7/1 times 7 plus 1/7, which is equal to become 28 over 7 plus 1 over 7, and this is equal to 29/7. So that's our answer. Okay. Now let's look at 9 and 3/8. Well, we split this up into 9 plus 3/8. We get 9 over 1 plus 3/8. Then I want to get a common denominator, as always, and we're going to go down so we have some space. So 9 times 8 over 1 times 8 plus 3/8. And then this is equal to 72 over 8 plus 3/8, which is equal to 75/8. Okay? Now let's look at converting improper fractions to mixed numbers. So you take a number an improper fraction such as 9/5 and you divide it. And you don't divide it into decimal form, but you leave it as a remainder. So 1 remainder 4, and then you put the remainder over the denominator. So you have 1 and 4/5, okay? So you take the 4 from here and put it over the denominator, which is 5. So let's look at some examples, such as 12/11. Well, I'm going to divide it, so I have 12 divided by 11, and this is equal to 1 remainder 1. Now what do? Well, I have my 1, and then I take my remainder and put it over the denominator, so I have 1 and 1/11. So that's my answer. Now let's look at 38 over 13. Well, I'm going to divide 38 divided by 13, and that is equal to 2 remainder 12. Now I'm going to take my remainder and put it over my original denominator. So I have 2 and, well, 12 over 13. So I have 2 and 12/13, and that's my solution. Okay, so I hope that helped, and I hope to see you soon.